Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Good afternoon all. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here today for Paul and Reece's wedding celebrations. What an emotional ceremony. Never been to anything like that before. Absolutely outstanding. And as a result, with the emotions on show, you may need to bear with me during the course of these few words. Paul is our firstborn child and has always been a very bright and caring person with a great sense of humour. As a youngster, he had a great passion for art of all types. He is a skilled artist himself, taking part in life painting classes only last year. The skills he gained from these classes were on show very recently at the pirate-themed stag do. During the life painting of your future husband activity. The stag do was great fun and was going along at a fairly sensible pace up until the drinking games commenced. These games involved the need to react to various pirate-themed expressions in the correct way. Otherwise, there was a drinking fine imposed. As a result of several people getting their shivery timbers mixed up with their ooh-ahs, all kinds of drunken activity took place. I vaguely recall a hairy electrician from Sheffield and a once long-haired scaffolding contractor from Hull struggling with the power of speech and mobility courtesy of these festivities. If anybody hasn't had the face licked by Russell, I strongly recommend it. Later in the day. Paul has always been into books and he loves film and TV. When he was around 10 to 12 years of age, he took to making short films. These would often involve a sci-fi theme, and he would have his brother and sister involved in these, and close friends like the Ackermans and the Von Ridley Cratwits. Carol and I would often return from a night out to find that all the kids were dressed as aliens, or in Paul's case, he would be in some Star Trek villain outfit. Paul's attention to detailing these films was thorough. The scripts, makeup and props, etc. were excellent and imaginative. Some of the outfits worn and the film content were often funny or strange. And I am sure that some of the child actors in these films were afflicted for life. Robert Ackerman, in particular. Whilst we were on a family holiday in Ibiza during this period of filmmaking, Paul and Robert found it highly amusing to hide in a cupboard at the inward staircase and shout out random stuff whilst people were making their way back to the hotel room. Wolf sheep's clothing or mints would be randomly shouted out. Very strange, I know. And I appreciate that it's not normal to find this kind of activity funny. However, these two found it hilarious, as did their parents and siblings. I guess there's a message in there somewhere. Paul has always been an entertainer, and again on family holidays, especially whilst in Florida, he would often bring a character on the holiday with him. Paul's impersonations of Mr. Stephen Lowe are legendary. He was one of these school teachers from Wolverton. Paul would often keep us all entertained whilst on our journeys in the minibus around Florida by speaking in the style of Mr. Lowe on any random subject or whilst he was giving us a tour guide. I recall that he first introduced me to the term "goosed" whilst using Mrs. Lowe's accent. I had a stark reminder of the meaning of this term when Paul announced that he was to get married. Just after Paul and Reece made the engagement announcement, I asked them, "Who pays for the wedding in these circumstances?" They both just looked at me. I thought to myself, I've just been goosed. This wasn't the first time that I've been goosed, courtesy of the wedding party member here today. Several years ago, we arranged a big family holiday to Asia. Carol and I, and all three of our children, arranged to go to Hong Kong in Thailand. A few months after the trip was fully organised, Paul announced that one of his close friends was getting married in the UK. Right smack in the middle of the time that we were due to be on this holiday. Given that this friend, affectionately now known as Reverend Hillary, is very important to him, and Paul is very important to us, I suggested he should travel with us to Hong Kong and Bangkok. Then we would pay for him to fly back to the UK for the wedding, and then back to join us in Thailand thereafter. We made these arrangements and paid for them up front so that everything was organised in advance. Shortly before we were due to go on holiday, Reverend Hillary decided to cancel the wedding, stating the reason that she wanted to wait for the right man. This resulted in not only losing the money for the non-used wedding flight to Paul, we actually paid an additional fee to have the original flight amended back to the original arrangement. As it turned out, the Right Reverend Hillary went on to find the right man in the form of a hairy electrician from Sheffield. And it appears that I was well and truly duped by the clergy. As a young child, Paul was never really into sports. And he would resist any of my attempts to get him a little fitter. An example of this is when I took him and Laura to the squash club.
It's coming.
And tried to get them to run around as well as play squash. I took Paul on court first to play whilst Laura ran around just outside the glass back. When I switched to take Laura on court and encouraged Paul to do a few shuttle runs outside, he was not happy. In fact, I don't think he recovered from that trauma for weeks. It was for around a month or so afterwards that he didn't speak to me. I'm pleased to say that since becoming an adult, Paul's become more fitness conscious. And Carol and I were extremely proud when we were in Newcastle to watch him complete the Great North Run. A massive achievement and a far cry from sending me to Coventry after the shuttle runs. Paul always excelled at school and was very keen to go to university. I was unaware of just how keen he was until I realised that he'd been sat in the vehicle and packing his gear in for 3 hours before we were due to set off. Seriously though, I think the whole university experience was the making of him. The life experience, the education, the great friends that he has met have proved to be invaluable. And friends have always been in abundance for Paul, and I know you are all very important to him. It is great to see people here today from his school days, the nuts from university, as well as the friends from the Newcastle Union Theatre Society, and all other friends he has made throughout his life. Carol and I are very proud of Paul's attitude towards friendship and loyalty. Paul was the first member of my family or Carol's family to go to university, and his influence, help and encouragement to Laura and Michael
Take a deep breath.
in their education and life has been immense. Carol and I thank him so much for that.
Go on, Tony.
Come on,
Go on.
Anna, what's coming?
Come on.
It is important to say at this point that it is even more remarkable how Paul was able to become this helpful and rounded a person growing up with a dad who was ignorant to the subject of homosexuality back then and lacked understanding at the time.
No, you didn't.
I'm extremely proud to say that I too have been educated by the exceptional example of a human being that is my eldest son, Paul. Might be all right. Paul's career continues to grow in strength and interest, and it is noticeable how much he enjoys his work, the people he meets, the challenges he confronts. It is really good to see the progress that he's made, and Carol and I are very proud of Paul's work ethic. As parents, Carol and I could not have wished for anything more from Paul. He's a special person who continues to be an example to us both. On to Reece. Carol and I, Laura and Michael, all first met with Paul and Reece as a couple for the first time at Laura's then home in Nottinghamshire. There were a few nerves on show initially. However, they were soon blown away when we started to discuss the dining options. Firstly, Paul and Reece announced that they'd recently been to the meat liquor for dinner. And when Laura confirmed that she'd put the cock in the hoop that day, we all cracked up. The tension left the room at that point. We all know how caring Reece is. You only have to look at the intense care that he provides to young children in his working capacity. He is a special person. Reece also has many other talents. His baking skills are legendary. He once spent 6 hours making a gingerbread at our house on Boxing Day. The similar skill sets are on show when he does his interior design projects. They're exceptional. He's a man of many talents. Reece is also keen on a good time and enjoys a drink or two. In fact, on the Christmas Day bashes, when we run the book on who is likely to be drunk first, Reece is the hot favourite. He often needs to crash out early, or in Rob Ridley's jogging bottoms, due to the increased waistline as a result of the Xmas overindulgence, so that he could retire comfortably on any bed he found unoccupied. He's capable of crashing out anywhere. Reece and Paul are both keen on cooking and are both talented in the kitchen. However, it's not always a smooth operation if they are in the kitchen together. I found it hilarious when they get a tad tetchy with one another, or which is the correct approach to whatever menu is on the agenda. Reece's attitude to tidiness is also legendary and slightly differs from Paul's more relaxed approach. All in all, Reece is a thoughtful, caring and talented person, and Carol and I are very proud to welcome him into our family. It has been said that you should try and find a partner that is like one of your parents. Paul's choice in Reece, it appears that he's found someone who can be a bit of a piss artist, an obsessively clean person around the house, and someone who can be argumentative from time to time. Looks like you found someone exactly like your mother. Paul and Reece are great together. They have a great time together, they've built a home together, and most importantly, they love each other. Carol and I wish them every happiness for the future. So if we have a charged glass, I would like to propose a toast to Paul and Reece.